The Earth is dying. There's pollution everywhere. Did you just say womp womp to the Earth dying?
Yeah, because there's literally a biosphere on Mars. Why worry about the Earth dying? We can just leave.
You've recently heard that the Earth is dying, but do you know why? Well, let me list a couple factors. Global warming, greenhouse effect, invasive species, and human population explosion. I bet you don't know what any of those things mean, so I'm going to explain them to you. Global warming is the increase in global temperature due to greenhouse gas emissions, which can affect habitat loss, drought, floods, extreme weather, ice caps, and sea levels. The greenhouse effect is gases trapping heat in the atmosphere, sun rays, pollution, combustion, and deforestation. Invasive species, species that are introduced into the area that rapidly breed and don't contribute anything positive to the ecosystem. That affects rapid population growth and decrease in other species population. Human population explosion, humans rapidly increasing in population over a small amount of time, caused by humans reproducing rapidly while having little to no carrying capacity. This affects humans using lots of resources, animals losing homes, foods, and populations.
The trip to Mars is going to be difficult, but by working together, we can survive this trip. We have learned from the problems of Biosphere 2, like how the concrete was absorbing the oxygen. But in Biosphere 2, they were self-sustaining and kept their water going, their food cycle, grew their own plants, recycled materials, and kept themselves entertained. The trip to Mars, we are taking a large spacecraft, bringing plants and animals that we need to sustain ourselves for the long journey and when we arrive. We will be entertaining ourselves with books, movie theaters, instruments, video game systems. There will be greenhouses and areas for animals, along with kitchens to provide food and jobs for everyone.
One day in the aquatic biome. The weather in the biome is mostly sunny, moist, and humid. Some clothing that you might want to bring with you in your trip to this biome is a bathing suit, shorts, thin layer shirts or long sleeves, sandals / Crocs, sunglasses, hats, and some sunscreen, or some SPF 3000 with those bald head of yours. Now, food that this biome will include seafood like fish, clams, seaweed chips, and P.S. If you are allergic to seafood, there will be pasta included in the aquatic biome. And pasta never goes old, unless you cook it might get mold. And activities that you can do on this day while you are in the aquatic biome are fishing, swimming, and surfing. Transportation will also be included by boat and walking, so make sure you bring some nice walking shoes along. And housing will also be included by houseboats, tents, hammocks if you want to have a nice view of the sunset on the beach with some trees. And that is all that I have for you guys today.
A day in the rainforest biome consists of rainy, warm, and humid weather. Some clothing that you might want to bring: cargo pants, tall socks, boots, safari hat, long sleeve shirts. Food that will be provided: fruit, bugs. Food that will be provided: fruit, bugs, fish, and mammals. Activities include hiking, swimming, swinging like Tarzan, rock climbing. Transportation includes foot, jeeping, and zip line. Housing includes tree houses and tents.
For the government, we will be having a democracy. For protection, there will be no guns. Instead, we will be having tasers, stunt guns, and pepper spray. Laws and forces will be implemented to keep the people safe. Free healthcare for everyone. For schools, we'll be including K through 12 and colleges.
Implemented.
Houses that will be available for people that live on Mars. There will be apartment buildings, and there will be houses inside the biospheres, along with like a suburb area, like the ones that already exist on Earth. There will be plumbing in all of the houses, along with electricity, and Wi-Fi services will be available to purchase at like Wi-Fi places. There will be wind power, water power, and solar power to use for electricity. And it will be windy in the areas that you live, so we can use that wind to have wind power. Instead of having big trash dumps that are on Earth, recycling will be available instead of composting, so we won't have those big trash islands that are really gross. Instead, there will be recycling that's similar to how they do it in Japan right now, where there's a schedule that everybody will have, and if you don't follow the schedule, you will be fined, and it can get as bad as jail time, because we want to stay clean and not have a bunch of trash and ruin Mars.
Slay!
I bet you're wondering how we're gonna get our news information on Mars, and I'm here to tell you. And it's not a lot different than how we do it here on Earth. First, there's gonna be news stations, TV and radio. Biodegradable newspapers, phones, and mail services will also be provided. People are encouraged to farm compost, keeping litter out of the biospheres and keeping our animals safe. Factories will be powered by renewable energy, such as solar and wind power. We will only produce what we need, keeping excess waste off of Mars. Small businesses instead of cheap businesses will help with the economy. Radio buildings where residents can schedule a call with Earth and people they know there via satellite call. Television, video games, board and card games, comedians and musicians will be there for entertainment. Transportation will be magnet-powered cars to lower the CO2 emissions.
To sign up for this life-changing trip to Mars, go to www.marships.com. On the website, there will be options to sign up for jobs, select housing, and list any medication and allergies you may have.
If you choose not to sign up for a job on the ship, you will have to make a payment per person above 18. Anyone over the age of 16 is allowed to work, but any legal adult must work or pay for their trip.
Transportation will also be included by boat and walking, so make sure you bring some nice walking boots or shoes.
A day in the rainforest biome consists of rainy, warm, and humid weather. Some clothing that you might want to bring: cargo pants, tall socks, boots, safari hat, long sleeve shirts. Food that will be provided: fruit, bugs. Food that will be provided: fruit, bugs, fish, and mammals. Activities include hiking, swimming, swinging.
Are you gonna go? I gave you a thumbs up.
When?
As you know, receiving information on Mars will be significantly different than receiving information on Earth. But will it? Some ways that we can receive information.
Why can't we do this, Benny?
But will.
I bet you're wondering how we're going to get our news information on Mars. Well, I'm here to tell you.
Years to go back.
Oh,
we can bring them like boxes of